Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the event today, which is a celebration of the MASS Lifecourse study and all of its participants. It's fantastic to see so many of you here today in this wonderful venue here at Spanish City. It would have been great if the sun had shined, but it's still a lovely views of the coast. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to really thank you all for taking part and supporting our research. Without you and your contribution, research cannot advance. And we're really, really grateful for all your support. And in my role as Patient and Public Involvement Engagement Manager, patients and the public are really key and the heart of everything we do here in the research team. So thank you very much. I'd now like to introduce my co-chair, Professor Avan Sayer, who is a geriatrician and who is also the chief investigator of the MASS Lifecourse study. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and I'd just like to add my welcome to that of Helen. It's such a thrill to see a room full of people, and so thank you, first and foremost, for taking part in MASS Lifecourse, and then secondly, for coming along today. As Helen has said, my name's Avan Sayer. I'm a geriatrician. That's a doctor who specialises in the healthcare of older people, and also chief investigator for the MASS Lifecourse study. When I was preparing for today, I was thinking back to the origins of MASS Lifecourse, and actually it goes back to 2014 when I first had the idea. I just moved to Newcastle from Southampton, where I'd been working for many years, and I thought, I wonder if we could do a study where we had a really rigorous protocol and we asked people to do lots of really sort of difficult things, including a muscle biopsy. Is it possible? And we weren't sure. We had a little tiny team at that point. And so we said, well, let's do a pilot study. And that MASS pilot study had less than 20 people. It went very well, but it's extraordinary to think that from 20 people nearly 10 years ago, we've gone to a study with over 200 people, which is just phenomenal. So, wow, thank you. And I should never have doubted the people of the Northeast, should I, in my assessment of the situation. So let me just say a few more things. When you set up a research study, there are a few key ingredients, and I was thinking about that today. First of all, you've got to have a good idea. You've got to think about something important to study that matters, that can have real benefit to patients. Secondly, you need people willing to take part, and that's where you all come in. But you also need, of course, funding, especially when you start to get to a study of this size. And my guess is that most of you haven't heard of the National Institute for Health and Care Research, or NIHR for short, but it's the research part of the Department of Health and Social Care, the research arm of the NHS, if you like. And we are very fortunate in Newcastle to have substantial funding in a biomedical research centre, the Newcastle Biomedical Research Centre you can see here. And it's just one of 20 of these very prestigious centres around the country. And so it's a real triumph for the region that we have one here. And we're really grateful to the BRC for funding the MASS Lifecourse study. So there's just one last ingredient that you really need for a good study. You need the idea, you need the people to take part, you need the funding. But of course, you also need a really good team. And certainly that's what we've got here. And some of you will realise that there's a face missing there. Many of you that took part in the early part of the study will have been seen at home, and indeed for your biopsy by Dr. Richard Dodds, a most superb doctor, a most superb researcher, and really the person that made MASS Lifecourse happen. And he died unexpectedly, suddenly nearly 2 years ago now, and it's been a huge loss to the study. And at one point we weren't sure even if it would continue without him, but I think it's a real tribute to his excellence as a researcher and clinician that a team has come together and continued what he started, and I think he would be absolutely delighted and proud to see what has happened to MASS Lifecourse since that time. Certainly the people you can see here, some of them you will recognise because you will have seen them at home or in the clinic. Some you might not. There's a sort of front room function to a study and a back room function. So some of these people might be in the back room, but please take the opportunity to talk to all of them. But can I just say that they are really a superb research team, a real A-team. And I don't know if they could all stand up so you can have a look around and see where they are in the room, and then catch them as the afternoon goes on and enjoy having a chat with them. Okay, thanks very much, everyone.